Record. Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for hopping on another one of my live videos today. 2 in 1 day. Lucky you guys. Lucky me. So today I'm going to be interviewing Jessica Mann, who is a relationship coach, and she works with single female entrepreneurs to help them find love. But before we hop right in, I wanted to reintroduce myself and then get Jessica to introduce herself and tell us more about who she is, exactly what she does, and go right into dive deeper into what Jessica is here to share with us and what she's here to offer. So I'm Yana Kasperzak, and I'm a holistic certified professional core energy performance coach. I help coaches, consultants, network marketers, and professional service owners to find total balance between doing and being. And it allows them to create new type of work and life balance, especially in this day and age. And they grow through their spiritual awakening as they, so they're fully present and build their fulfilling and profitable lifestyle businesses without having to put anything on hold or putting anything on pause, because it's harder to get the engine going after it's been stale for a little while. So now, Jessica, please introduce yourself and tell everyone, what do you do, what do you offer, everything in a nutshell, and then dive right into the tips and tricks and stuff.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you so much, Anna, for having me here. And honored to be here to be interviewed and get to know your audience here as well. And you're such a great coach, and you and I work together. And I just love your spirit and love your energy and your heart, especially that you really full out to help your clients and providing value and what you know and to share, and so help us to be able to find a much better balanced life. So thank you so much. And so as for me, yes, my name is Jessica Mann, and so what I do is I am a qualified and certified life master consultant and also relationship coach. So what I do is I help especially women entrepreneurs that who are thriving in building their business to attract the magical love relationship. The reason why many times that I have been there as well myself, and it's just like, I don't want to be getting distracted. I want to be focused. This is what I'm gonna do, and powering through it. And so then I don't have time for men. So however, then actually, that is not really true. That actually, having that beautiful love, magical love relationship add value and help us to actually be a love attractor, and imagine that every single area in our life that actually would be leveling up, then it will be smoother in our relationship, every area, and then also our business, and attract more ideal clients in our business. So oftentimes I also find that is, they don't even make time, but which is one of the very most valuable thing in life, which is the love. So here I am, it just wanted to, hey sisters, and we need to pause it for a little bit. Yeah, we don't need to be like a man having all this masculine energy, and what if most of the time is that, it's the past experiences, because we, past trauma or like that taste in the relationship. That's why it's, probably, that is like holding us back. I don't know which one is the biggest one, but have to do something in the past or experiences or those stories still hanging. So that's why we're thinking, I don't have time for that, because it's not a good thing. Whenever we think about relationship, you see, that will contrast, like, I don't know about that. However, imagine having that beautiful love relationship. If you got a magic wand, then you don't forget about those mean guys or whatever, those past things, forget about that for a moment, just play. So then what would that be look like? Would you have it if, do you remember, the time that you fell in love? And if, how beautiful that is, was somebody right there with you. And when you have a bad day and then someone will be right there listening to you, you can, get a big old hug and that that person is right there, so in my program here, that like in my coaching here, that we guide our clients through a beautiful, elegant process. Then they will, at the end of it, they will have this magical love relationship that they did not even know it could be possible. So, and then we'll be helping them to find their magic man, and then so we will find out like the magic man, meaning like I used you will hear me talking about magic because that was my former life. I was really a magician assistant, and did travel around the world, did magic, and it was a lot of fun. However, in the show business, we all know once my job is like making sure you trap into illusion, so then you can get the wow factor. And now I find that still, like I retired from that. Then now I'm like helping people to do real magic. Now my job is to really, lifting up the curtain for you to see, there's a lot of illusion in life, right? Illusion is not even real. Those are our limiting beliefs is blocking us, however. But once we are able to see the illusion, then you go, oh, now that's when the magic begins, So that's what I love doing and continue to help my clients and then be their magician assistants to help them to create their magic show. So that's pretty much in a nutshell. It's a lot of fun, and elegant, and without wasting time and energy and regret, so that way, they don't have to feel like, oh, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be fun. And you have someone right there. I've been through too many, relationship that I don't just, talk about it. I apply, and then so that's what we do on a daily basis. So yeah, I was curious about your so do you have client they're single, or like what do you come across most of the people when they're single, or like do you like what would be their most biggest block that you hear perhaps, or do you see there is a connection from one area that perhaps they are avoiding or just ignoring them, then how that is affecting the whole holistically in the whole life process?
I personally, everyone that I know is in a relationship, either married or is dating. And a couple of people that I know, they just started dating recently. And one of the biggest obstacles I've noticed is that they don't believe they're worthy of love, or that not right now. I don't have time for it right now. Time is one of the biggest obstacles for anyone, really, no matter what they're trying to have or not have in their life. It always comes back to time or the lack of time. So what advice would you have for people that are, saying or believing, whether they're consciously aware of it or not? And also, if there is a way how you can help people to become more consciously aware of these thoughts and beliefs, because some of them are more in the body, where a body has a certain reaction when it comes to the word relationships. It's just like, ooh, it just like shuts down, right? We all have our own fears. And for some people, the relationship itself is scary, which is based, like you said, on their limiting beliefs that were created at some point in their life. So what advice would you have for those people? What do I do?
Yeah, it's a great question. We're talking about time. Well, perhaps that's one of the illusions. we make time. We all have 24 hours a day. We already know it's just about our value. Like I said from the beginning, that oftentimes we perhaps think that, oh, my business is more important. Well, what if I tell you that magical love relationship really add more value to your business? Would you believe that? Would you be open-minded about that? Would you make time for that? So, and then actually, it's just, would you have time to have more joy and fun in your life? You don't have to wait until too many people, in fact, including couples, whether they have a relationship or not, sometimes unconsciously perhaps, and they too focus. It's more about like managing, personal, like instead of the, oh, I don't have time, instead of finding that time and how can I structure that. And we go into detail in the process as well, because I am aware, having the time is I don't have time for that. And a lot of my, single girlfriends in the past and also have that. And so it's yeah, that's one of the things that I show the single sisters. I call them sisters, so my clients, I, that how to do it. Then he's like, oh, delicious. You want more actually. And because of that, give you so high vibe, then all of a sudden you're so inspired running your business, and you have, ideas, things are clicking. You know what? Because going through this process, you become the love generator, generating love energy and the frequency vibration, and then attract more love and beautiful, circumstances. And we all hear about that as a law of attraction. It is true, but the law of attraction then is the law of vibration. And what are we vibrating? Like, we are vibrating, I don't have time. Then you will hear a lot of your clients gonna tell you. Yeah. So then we wanted to shine light on that and be aware of that. How we say, is that an excuse, or go inner? Is it really? Time is an excuse. Sometimes it's easy to say that. So, but then, however, when we really look into ourselves, in our hearts, be open. What if you could have that? And simple. Doesn't take your time out from your business. In fact, that will help you, serve better to your clients, provide better service for your business, support that. Would you have time?
Yeah, that's very well said. And what I also heard you say is that by you having that love in your life, that relationship, loving relationship in your life, it affects all the other areas of your life, because it brings more love into all the other areas of life. It's like talking about magnetic fields, right? We're all magnets. We're all attract things that we want and we don't want, based on our thoughts, our beliefs, and our energy. And when there's more love that comes in, we'll attract that. So changing our magnetic field from fear-based to love-based, because a lot of people, actually most people, know what it's like living in fear at a certain point of all of our lives. And if it hasn't happened yet, one day it will. We'll all get to experience this human emotion, human experience. It's a must. So we know what it's like being in that very fearful stage. And we also know what it's like being in the loving stage, where we just love everything. Even going back to childhood, that can help us to kind of remember what it feels like, or what it's supposed to feel like, if we have forgotten over the years. I know I had to do it a couple of times, where, being in this fear-based, and I don't want to be here, I want to be here. So how do I get here without doing the least amount of work? So I would sit and visualize and try to remember myself as a child and doing the things and experiencing love, like feeling love and all that I did and all that I experimented with, I guess, right? Climbing on buildings, going places where I don't, I'm not supposed to be going. But when it comes to relationships, and my most curious question that I have for you is, I'd love to hear, and it's more like a story. Tell me a story, share with me of your craziest, story or experience that you've had when it comes to relationships.
Well, I learned the hard way. I didn't know better, right? So that's why I'm passionate about letting people know, again, because we don't learn these things from school, which is very essential. Unfortunately, we put out, look at the society in those are very essential part of life. We don't learn about how to, communicate with our loved one, relationship. What does that mean? How we can have a better communication, or something happened, how can I speak up, and those type of things. It has a lot to do with, in a relationship, whether it's just any kind, parents and children and siblings, and we are all relationship based. And so I am a divorced woman. So I got my divorce, and then because there's a lot of things happened in the household, different value, we didn't know how to, really resolve the conflict. We see counselor, we do all the world that we suggested to do. And then at the end, it was not very pretty. Then and then we went through that. So I felt at that point, I felt betrayed. I felt like, wow, 12 years of marriage, and my family, family is everything to me. And so it's like, especially, like my culture, my background, and all my training. And, I came here, left my home country, and to, follow him, so to speak. It's like, wow, this is not fair, whining and crying and like feeling like a victim. And yeah, that was really, really tough. Feeling the world owe me something, angry during that. But again, like looking back, I did not know how to like manage all of that. And all my family, friends are all far away, distance wise, it's like plane fly away. And not only that, it's complicated at that point. But then eventually going through life, I'm always connected with a higher self. That's something, however, I'm very, very grateful for that. That to the point, then I learned like, I'm not happy, right? And I'm like, no matter, but nobody really do know though, because I can hide it, so I would go out sometimes, I just on the face, and maybe some of you will, I resonate with that. I would not tell people what's going on, because I learned very quickly when I share, and then people get very angry with me, because the story was like, in general, I would get a lot of women teach me how to like pretty much kill my ex-husband. Store a lot of angry, anger, and because it's like, you have to get to a different level to the forgiveness part of it. So then I'm like, this is not me. I don't enjoy this, and I'm always wanted to be the person being inspiring the other person. Let's uplift together, let's grow, and let's do something. But then instead, I'm like, I find myself after the conversation, everybody's so angry, teach me how to do it, fighting back and then going through the war. And then later on, I know a lot of couples after they got divorced, then they continue fighting for another 20 years, still fighting maybe for money, for kids and all that. This is crazy to me. It's like, well, you know what? The relationship didn't work out already. So I thought like, then that's why you get a divorce. But then I did not expect, then after divorce, still another 10 or 20 years, people come non-stop fighting. And I hear stories like that. And then I start looking into my life. I go, no way. I don't want to be in that person. What kind of story what I want to tell? but it was very miserable. I was in the bottom of my life pretty much because I also could not see my kids, and because all those details. Anyway, that was then. But then when I wanted to share this, is like some of you might not have really deficit to the point that like you cannot even see your children, or they take the children and you're trying to to do power struggle, whatever those things. Then how can you get yourself up there? Because I couldn't see anything. It's like some of you may have felt that way when you're really down the bottom. Everybody's story is different, but the feeling is so real. Like, I don't know what to do. Nothing is meaningful. I'm not happy. How can I change this situation? I feel like I'm totally out of control. I couldn't do this. I'm living in foreign land. I don't know the law, divorce law, when the people come in, I'm like, God, couldn't see a thing. So those type of things. So first thing is that really pause. You cannot do it by yourself. When we are being triggered like that, then we need a higher, we need a mentor, we need a coach, we need someone have been through that so they can understand you. I think, this professional, a counselor, in this area, but at the end of the day, I felt like nothing get done. They would just ask me, keep talking about the same thing and the same thing again. Okay, but I'm still not able to move forward. But for 12 years now, there's a lot of problem in there. So, how I don't know how, it didn't really work for me. And so that's why I'm more passionate about now I find, after my personal experiences, and then I gone through that, and I looking back, I document, and of course, and I also I seek for coaching, seek for different, not counselor, graduate from school, do the study of the book, but they don't really have the experience themselves. For example, the women that helped me, she's wonderful. However, she had never been through a divorce. She did not really understand what that really feel like, or being betrayed, because she had beautiful, and that's not her thing. And she can study about it, just like giving birth, you can tell people not until you really give birth and you experience that pain. So I just wanted to share that part of that, and it helped me, that experience, really get back up here and earn a lot of beautiful lessons. And fast forward, good news is that me and my ex-husband is beautiful, have really beautiful relationship now. And of course, during the journey, forgiveness, and it's just another time that the story, but it's just beautiful, like how we can be united again, and also the children and everything. But it wasn't easy. So then of course I move on with my life. And so today I also, have a very beautiful relationship. It's so magical. It's like totally different than whatever, I ever imagined and thought of. So blew my mind. And so, yeah, so I would say, if you have been through, something very horrible, or like if the experience wasn't that great, then, and still hope, and because I still believe in love, there was time I was like, forget it. I'll never be married. I don't need man. I'm just me. I can do this thing. I hated men. I hated men. Crazy. Yeah, but that is natural now. It's natural. Yeah. But then I would like to. Sure, you have that emotion. It's normal having that anger. But then now, actually, that be able to be more aware what's going on. That's important. That's your field also, like the energy, emotion, how we can manage that. And take responsibility. That's another thing, because, hey, I married him. He never used a gun in front of my head, marry me. Didn't. Yeah. Didn't work out, things changed, different perspective. And, some of the things that, it's the assumption or common sense, what common sense to me, what not is not common sense to him. And we were, also, and break it is like the value. Right, we used to be in the same religion, let's say that, just like get be direct. So I start wondering about the religion thing. So I start having questions, and I believe that he got into the place where he's feeling scared because I'm questioning about perspective about life. You know how like when we believe in a certain religion or belief, that's devastating. Right? Born and raised in that family or that religion, and how your point of view, how you look at life is just pretty much like that. And then if somebody starts shaking the faith, there will be, you know, having an issue. So not everybody will be able to handle that. And however, I have to follow my truth. And so that's what happens. There's more to that. But then the bottom line is still, you know, beautiful love relationship. I mean, I love my ex-husband, and my children knows that, and they're so proud of me. And yeah, because they'll even say, Mom, I don't want to burst your bubble. Because my goal is like, I don't want to fight like the other people 10, 20 years like that. No way. Because a lot of the things that he did, and yeah, I would say it's not being fair, but then what are you going to do? Right? What are you going to do? You cannot force people to grow. You cannot force people to act a certain way. So then of course, how can I grow myself? It's not easy. What is your value? So then to the point that my kids, I wow them because I said, I told you, you know, my goal is to have this conversation, smile again with your dad. And when that first happened, because they got used to, oh, mom and dad, they're not gonna be, the biggest message is that like I mean, sometimes is it really necessary to get a divorce, right? So we need to examine that, assess that. But yes, then we also needed to pay attention that with the children, because the children, they don't want to take side. They wanted to, they understand, but they deserve both mom and dad's love. Of course, we're talking about safety, not physically, being dangerous. However, if anything of conflict or different point of views, those things that we needed to be aware and be educated about. And ultimately is love. That's formula about that. It's very radical. It's not gonna be something like, oh, and have to go back in there study. But that's why I created this magical love relationship, magical love formula that is so different than most of the people talk about out there. It's because it's way faster, and you'll be in control, and you'll be in control of your emotion. You'll be in control if with your own happiness, and also you will feel peace and joy. It is how, because it has a lot to do with here, right? And connected with a higher self. And so I understand that your audience know already, like they have, they have a bigger sense of the soul, and so it's easier to talk about that connected with self. But if we look out, still is so new to many people in the world. What are you talking about? What is soul? What do you mean? Sometimes the question is, what is love? Right? What is the definition of love? Everybody say, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you. What does that really mean? So then it really, so yeah, that's growth. A lot of personal growth it takes to go inward and not just mundane and do, because the energy is not going to sustain. And the point is, how can we really have it all during this precious lifetime? And when we get, down a little bit, how can we resilient step back and become bigger? Because now I'm looking at my ex-husband, that experience. He's my sacred teacher, right? He's my sacred teacher. I thank him. I really do. And yeah, I don't have any, negative feelings. Like just a little tip. When you think that you've been like did the forgiveness, then oh yeah, forgiving that person. But if that person's name just pop up, you just have to still work to do.
Yeah, that's a great point, because that's a really good way to identify if if you yourself and have actually truly fully forgiven. Because if you have, you wouldn't have that, that fear response, right? Because it's like adrenaline shot that you feel in the heart, where your heart jumps to, oh my God, right? So it's a great way to identify. And I also want to say thank you for sharing your journey, your story, and most importantly, your knowledge and experience, because I believe this is exactly what helps people to choose who they want to work with. Because in knowing what you have yourself have gone through, like you were saying before, you've gone to counselors, therapy, and it didn't work. I've done the same. It didn't work. To me, it did more damage than good. Everyone that I have so far spoken to says the same thing. So far, actually, except one person, but for her, it was cognitive therapy, so it was different therapy. And so I've had also conversations with people who, with one woman in particular who came back from a therapy session and thought that she was very, very, very harshly judged, and and that her therapist was dependent on her on her outcome, which we should never be dependent on anybody's outcome, because they're there on their own. And the sheer fact that you're here today talking about what you've gone through, being with someone for 12 years, and then you started questioning things, and it affected your relationship, and it caused a separation between the two of you, in a way, to now see that all of this was your journey to your current self now, and you're thankful for that growth opportunity, for those lessons, for everything that you've gone through, that has given you that everything that now you have in your tool belt to help everybody else, that has allowed you, and to create that program that you're talking about, that takes people from point A to point Z, of how to find that magical love in your life, that you deserve it, and that you first must heal yourself before you can go and find that love. Because this is what you yourself have done. You worked on yourself, you spent the time on yourself, you found yourself, uncovered yourself, and then this magical man comes into your life and in a way you manifested him yourself through doing the work that is not easy, like you said, but it is so rewarding, and it really, really shows on your face. Because I also watch the transition from the beginning of the story, when going and sharing the the struggles, the pain and the suffering, to now I found the love of my life. And there's a really, like, to me, it's very noticeable to see the difference in your energy, first one versus the second one. And we can't do it alone. I 100% agree with you. We cannot do it alone. It becomes a very, like, here's the thing, we can't do it alone. We can do anything alone. But why would we, when we can shorten the amount of time that we are going through it? From, like, I went at it on my own for 3 years before I said, pardon my language, but before I said, fuck it, I'm hiring a coach, because I can no longer do it on my own, because it feels impossible, because I can only cheer for myself this much, where a coach cheers for me this much constantly, and points things out to me that I don't see in myself, because we're not taught to see the good in ourselves. We're taught to see the good in everybody else, hence the good girl syndrome. right? Which I like to refer to, where we're just trying to be good for everyone and forgetting to even be honest with ourselves first and foremost. And that anger that you were talking about, you needed to go through that time of being angry and hating all men and saying we need to, they're all the same. They're all pieces of poop, feces, right? That is also a crucial part of the journey. As an energy coach, I've shared with you, and most of my viewers know that I talk about the 7 energies. And the second one is anger. And anger, as much as all of us want to get rid of it from our life, it serves a very, very powerful purpose. It is the engine to our purpose. It is the engine to our dreams and goals. And it sounds like it was that engine that you needed to uncover what is it that you actually want out of a relationship and then a man. And then once you clarify and identify what it is that you actually want, then you find it, and it comes to you. So thank you for sharing all of that. And I know as we're getting close to the end, I want to hear what do you want here? What do you want to leave our audience with? Parting thoughts, anything.
Yes. Yeah, so much about relationship. And then go back to the one thing is that I would invite the sisters that open that door, open your heart. You never know. Like if you close that, nothing's gonna happen for sure, because even though right in front of you, then you cannot see, right? That's number one. Number two, if you open it up, then okay, well, I want to learn more about that. And how can I find that magic man? Okay, when we talk about in my program, the magic man, what is it? MAGIC, magnetic. Those are characters. The magic man is like, so that will show you how you can find the right person instead of like, having so many. So it's just very tiring, yeah. But then, so that's why also, so if you have something faster, because we were talking about, I don't have time. So how can I be able to, having more time and more efficient as a business owner? I'm already busy in thriving in our business. Yes, we all know hiring or someone like to guide you, be there and intimately, tailor, customize for you. So we talk about like magic man. So M is magnetic attraction. Definitely you have to have this, that's part. And then also like a that's appreciation. Does this man have the capacity to appreciate you, right? And then G is like genius. Do you look at him like, oh, he's so intelligent? So like that's the magic man. And then MAGI is like, is he being in his integrity? Is he honest? And we have tools here because that's important. You don't want to be, or maybe in your past travel cheated on me, or is lying. I want him to be, be able to be transparent and things. And then C, communication. Can he communicate? Where is that? Right? So then in the program, it's going to help you to find your magic man just for you. Now, and then, so the gift, I know that now we get the end of it. So I will gift for your special group, then I'll give them a quiz. This quiz is that's very special. Why you want to take the quiz is that, so after you take the quiz, then you find out how ready you are to have this magical love relationship. And what is it going to look like for you after taking this quiz? Very quickly, about 5-10 minutes, and then you get really analysis just tailored for you. What is it going to look like? Okay, let's say I'm skeptical, but all right, but I'm open. And what is it going to look like? I remember when I was in that stage, I had a coach also like, she was asking me questions. I was like, what? Because I was in pain, because my brain is still like locked in those areas. And then into transitioning, it was hard for me to imagine anything. It was that little, but then having the coach asking questions and really helping, so then guide you, then you still see the magical love, because everybody has different, what is magical for you and how ready are you to have that. So then let's do the quiz and assess where you are at, and then that will be free. And so the one, whoever is participating and watch this replay, just you can DM me, and let's see how am I gonna do this. Here go. I can put it right here. Do you see it right there? And so you can just DM me and type hashtag magical love. Is this upward or the same?
No, it's good. I can see it properly. Yeah.
Hashtag magical love quiz. Just
nice.
And then I will be, sending you the quiz. So yeah, awesome. Individually, and that's my personal gift for you. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I'm just gonna do the quiz because I love quizzes. I found my magical love, even though we've worked on it. It wasn't magical in the beginning because both of us were going through our growth, individually and together. And we had to learn how to communicate, because this is not something. That's why when you said communicate as the last letter of the magic, I was like, yes, because that is key to any healthy relationship. And the only people that I know that know how to communicate are professionally trained coaches. And I kid you not, professional trained coaches who have gone, through the experiences themselves. They have learned the skills on what it takes to communicate, because it's not just, you need to listen to me and what I say and how you say things. It's not about that. Communication, it's not just words. There's a lot more to it. I'm sure you go into all of that as well. So I'll leave it there. But yes, it's important. And for me, I'm curious to, to see if I'm ready.
Already magical love relationship. Look at you, how happy you are. You're a thriving entrepreneur, and then you still, and then you have children, you have your husband. It's so it's magical. When you and I have talked about it, when you feel like it's off, then definitely you see the difference in your business. But then when you're up, it's just like right, just that's so magical. Everything flow. So it's it's just part of life, which is I really do stand for. That without life, what's you can still love your pet, your dog, your cat, or grandchildren, or but it's so different. So the M is magnetic attraction. That is the beautiful, intimate relationship. That's why so many poets and songs written is like love, romance, and that is not replaceable. Different kind of love. That's the magical, really the highest love that we create, right? We create with that energy. We create children, and we can also, let's say you're done with children, but then when you have that, you create something beautiful together, leave a legacy. You don't know what that is yet. In the program, at the end, you also have, some tools to, to put it all through, so that you have sustainable relationship. It's not mundane. Oh, now I have a relationship, nothing really happening. We're in peace, not fighting. That's mundane. How can you transform it from mundane to magnificent, right? So it's always like have higher, better. It's just like the business. Okay, I'm generating 6-figure now. How am I upscale? Okay, the next goal. You don't just plateau, right? So we're talking to entrepreneurs, and we want to do things. We want to always level up ourselves. Let's say if you're not entrepreneur, you're human being. Just we crave for that expansion. Period.
Yeah.
Right. So
we do.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and then for having me here today, I really appreciate you. And so today's show, be able to add value to your audience here, and take advantage of the quiz. And so that's it.
Yeah. And thank you, Jessica, for coming on, sharing all that you are and all your knowledge and the quiz with everyone. Hopefully, I'd love to hear how it goes for everybody. Those of you that take the quiz, I'd love to hear it as well. And I'm sure Jessica would love to hear as well how it went for you. So thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Once again, thank you, Jessica. And maybe we should do this again sometime with a specific little problem that people want a little bit of help with. So, which means those of you watching, let me know what that is, what you would like Jessica to come on and talk about and expand on. Because I know we touched points on many different things today, but if there's one specific thing, please, let us know in the chat in the Facebook group, so that way Jessica get to see it, I get to see it, and then we can have another one of these videos and just talk about that one specific thing that you need help with. How does that sound?
Hey, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm happy to serve.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jessica. And I guess until next time we do this.
Okay. Create a magical day.
Yes, have a magical day, you beautiful, magnificent unicorns. Bye, guys. Bye.